just want to end off for my first part video where I was speaking on the importance of us valuing history. Go back and check out the first video. But I don't really want to share why it's important for everybody to value history. I'm not trying to exclude nobody or whatever imaginary belief you could conjure up in your brains. But I'm trying to focus on what's actively happening amongst me and my people. Things were systemically designed to be the way that they are. There's a book that I read that I really cherish called The Color of Law. And in the early chapter, in the early chapter, it even speaks on about how just things I already knew, but it went into a greater detail that reminded me and reiterated some things to me that I needed to hear when I bought that book, about how we was, us as melanated people in America, after antebellum slavery and after the Civil War and after the Emancipation Proclamation, during those late 1800s, our people was building HBCUs that still stands to this day. In the 1880s, we was thriving, these type of things. It was just getting it going with the resources that we had as they was conjuring up these Jim Crow laws, that are disgusting and wicked and vile. It's very, very important to remember that, because there's people that went through that. The same life you have today, if you made some of your life, you should want somebody to remember the things that you've done, the things you've helped about, and you do. No matter how you lived your life, you got at least one person that cares about you and the things you've done, for sure. You do. And that's very important. So if I'm pressing for people to care about, yourself, and the actions you're taking currently, it doesn't matter about the things that we have going on in capitalism, socialism in a certain place, the communism in a certain place. It doesn't really matter. That really does not matter. We have to inform ourselves. We really have to inform ourselves. It's almost like that TikTok I saw where the guy was listening to Waka Flocka out his car, and he was like enjoying his time in his 20s. Oh, let's do it, all that, right? Yeah, And then it showed for him in his 30s, and he was sitting on his back deck with a polo, relaxing and chilling, and then open his eyes up to look around. That's so true. But the part of that that's really sad, unfortunate, is that we shouldn't have to wait until we reach the 30s and you go through your 20s and have that time. I'm pushing my son to stick with the right timeline of their life, to keep going while they're in their 20s. Just keep going, to keep going, to keep going with the things that's lined up for them. You have good grades, good attendance, keep it going. Do you understand? Seriously, keep it going. Keep it really going. Everything's lined up right for you. You may not admire the young person that is being teacher's pet, all these other names that's so ignorant, but I understand certain monsters that come with those young people that may be, real adamant and real quick to tell or whatever they may assume. The thing is that they're lining themselves up with what the future military college institutes has to offer, which is the resources that you can use at that age when you get there. You're working for it. You earned that spot right there where you at. You earned that. You earned that spot to be in the 11th grade. You earned that. You really did. You earned that spot to be in the 8th grade. You earned that spot to be in the 12th grade. You should look back at that last year and appreciate what you feel like is necessary to appreciate. You really should. I feel like that is something that should be pressed first in all homes. And the thing is that when it's pressed first, if it's a father, mother, some type of guardian that's pushing that line, that characteristic is already in line with those goals. When you're pushing that as an adult, as a parent that's learning, a new parent that might be learning priorities, you might be learning, what else you learning? Of course, responsibilities, but patience and repetition as a brand new parent. These are the main things you learn as a brand new parent, that you realize you need to put first, that you put first. So when you're a parent that's lacking that, but you're respecting the child, the things that they need first right now at that moment, your character develops. So here's them to my parents, and as far as like just us informing each other. And if you inform yourself, your character really will develop, and it will change. It really will. Because there's nowhere in the world you could read about slavery and then think about how, like, oh, none of that matters. You're not slaves today. Look at what you're doing today, the murder rate. There's no way you could see that as we was being thought of and treated and respected and valued as nothing. They had comics of a grown man, standing over a baby that's on the ground, and saying that if I don't K you first, you would grow up and K me. That was in a comic in the late 1800s. The same time when Jim Crow, that's supposed to be a representation of us, a caricature of us. Like, these things are very, very important to care about. I grew up with these type of instillments. I just kind of let it be subsided because of the places I've been, and I realized I wasn't coming across it directly. And when I was coming across it, we were dealing with it right away, connecting more, being around people that's putting their life on the line with me. So it's like a little bit of a difference to it. But when I come to a state like where I'm at now, to the beautiful state of West, this state, I love these mountains. I at first had to get used to them. I love these mountains. I love these hills. I love everything about it. It's just the people here. They want you to be the way that they want you to be. And now I digress. I'm going to get back to my second part of the first video. You gotta continue to educate and inform yourself. You're gonna shake people up when you do that. You really are. You seriously are. You're gonna shake them right on up. They're gonna be very, very confused about that. They're just expecting you just to go along with what they've been doing. A lot of the times it's older people. Me, I'm not too old. I'm in my 30s. I say that. A lot of the older people that we run into are in their 60s or over. So think about 50 years ago. 50 years ago was in the 70s, the mid 70s. Let's go back another 10 years. Let's add 10 more years to that old person. Not president. Martin Luther King was alive at that point in the mid 60s. He met his unfortunate demise 3 years later, but he was alive at that point. And we know what was going on during that time. Let's add 15 more years onto that. That's 1945. That's World War II. Like, y'all gotta understand, like, the things that the Red Tail Tuskegee men went through, people that was in the military. Like, you gotta understand, it started from after the emancipation. He wanted help. They needed help for what that was, to win against the South. And they realized that they could do the same thing when it came to Vietnam, the same thing when it came to healthcare, when it came to syphilis tests and studies. There's so much. And it's like, when I hear that, I can never. And I don't like to use the word never. I always say that to my boys. We don't use the word never. We don't oversimplify. But I can never let that be undervalued in my life. I would give them an example. I'm like, there's a few times you could use, there's a lot of times you could say the word never from off your experience in life. I'm going to end it here. Boys, there's never been a time when we got up in the morning and realized that we had no oxygen. Never. We've never went through that. That's the way you could use never. I'm going to end it there. I appreciate you listening. I just had somebody come across and share their opinion in the YouTube video, and I appreciate that person. I appreciate that person that shared his comment that was very ignorant. He just disregarded what I was saying and was acknowledging and speaking on that, that black people are all over the place and I should care about them. I never said I didn't. That's the entire diaspora. I do care about. I just care about the ethnogenic beings that we became in America. I care about that because that is being lost. People are so upset that we're not immigrants and that we can just speak our mind and share how we feel, and we know that we are citizens here. They're so upset at that, and it goes right back to what I told you. They grew up in a time where they just looked at us as, oh, call the police, get the fire hose on them. Call the police, let's pull them out this beach in this pool. I just can't imagine that time, so I always gotta respect those people that just endured that. And I would never endure that. I just don't let it change my character, and I keep working on my 1-2. And I stay sharp so that I can keep defending myself or standing tall and don't look weak, and it won't be weak when I do come across it, because I come across it every day. And everybody backs down because it's all a bluff. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't even be their force. But my thing is this. They do that, and now my brain automatically goes, I have boys. I have a nephew. I can imagine you doing that to them. And it's going to piss me off. It's going to make me super sick to think about that you would possibly treat them like that. So let me check you right now and make you feel all type of ways since you wanted me to feel this type of way. Melanated people around here in this area, if you're watching this, get on board. Educate yourself. Move away if you need to. They're building data centers. The water here is horrible. The education is horrible. The resources are horrible. Let them be here by themselves. Go travel the world. Go see. Save your money. Prioritize your money, your time. Go see the rest of the world. Leave the people here in West Virginia by themselves. Then we could come right back when they bring the value down. Ooh, get dizzy. Get real deep. Got real deep with you with that one. Let them bring the value down on West Virginia and they can swoop in. Swoop right in. I'm going to end it there. Much love. Peace and blessing. Raising Better with JJ. Get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about anything. Let's talk about it. More videos to come.